Hi guys, this is your instructor Ashish. I am recording this video for our current modules assignment. If you go to the modules page and scroll down for week 6, you have to complete the project for Excel chapter 4 and the SAM exam. I shall have these assignment aid videos posted under week 6 for you after I'm done with this video. We are going to look at the Excel chapter 4 project, which is to complete the chapter 4 project for mortgage payment calculator as in provided in the textbook. So as you're working on this particular mortgage payment calculator, you shall eventually have an Excel file which would look like this. We are learning to format and also do some more new ways of writing formulas. As you notice, this is the final outcome that you should have, but creating this should not be extremely difficult task. These information that you have here, basically this cell is given the name price, the cell down below is given the name down payment, and the one on the bottom is loan amount. The name for this cell is nothing but what's to the left, here to the left, and same for this. We have also given names. So the benefit we derive by doing this is to have formulas which are written in plain English, whereby we are using price minus down payment or the names of the cell that we have, rather than using as D6 minus D7, we are writing price minus down payment. By using the word price, we are referring to this cell, and by using down underscore PYMT dot, we are referring to this cell. How do we give names to the cell? We make a rectangle, for instance here. Going to the formulas, we have define name, whereby we can define the name for, we can say create from selection, whereby if I have selected something, I would like to give names to the cell based upon the left column in this case. So these cells will get the name corresponding to what's on the left, because this is how our data is structured. In other cases that you may come across in your future endeavor with Excel, you may probably use bottom row, top row, or right column to say, hey, in my case the data is left and the corresponding name is on the right, and you may probably choose an option like this, but in our case we will have to use it in this manner. For the cells over here as well, as I move my mouse, keep an eye on this box over here, the name box, and you can notice that all these cells have been given the names from their left side cells. So when we go here, we choose this, press OK, and the names will pop in over there, as you can see, present. Other than taking a look at the formulas underneath the Excel, here are the formulas. How do you do the formulas? You may use the control tilde symbol, the symbol on your right and below the escape key is what you need to use in order to see all the formulas explode up. If I want to, just to get it easy on you, I may open Word and type this 2 key combination so that you are familiar with the keys that I am pressing to show you the formula. Control and this key, which is right underneath your escape key, enable us to see the formula, hide the formula, see the formula, and hide the formula. You may notice that here we have few things typed up by ourselves. Now is the function to display date and time, and this is to say if I am buying a home for 369,000 and making a down payment of 75, the loan amount would be what I get after deducting the down payment from price. And the rate is 3.375 for 15 years. The payment is driven by the formula PMT, which says take the rate divided by 12, and then for the term of the loan multiply by 12 to get monthly payment, and the third parameter is the loan amount. This is a simple formula for payment. What unique about it is the rate, the term, and loan payment. The three things we are giving are not some arbitrary names. They are the reference to the cells in our own Excel file. This makes it easy for us to know that even if I am somewhere in the Excel file somewhere down, and if I need to write a formula utilizing the rate, I don't need to know the rate is in cell B1 or C4 or something like that. I can just use the word rate, and I will be able to see that, hey, I have a cell by the name rate, and that's what I'm trying to refer. So that's the benefit we derive by giving names to the cell. Monthly payment is calculated as you see there. Total interest and the total cost of the loan is also calculated using formulas which are more easy to write than how you have done until the previous chapter. In this example over here, where you have bunch of cells with a difference of 0.125, you may type 2, and then using the fill handle, as you scroll down, you will be able to populate the remaining values in the cells below. Over here, we have also used the conditional formatting to say highlight the cell which matches with the number over in this cell F4. This conditional formatting is already been added in my example over here, which is to say in this range of cells which are located over here, if the value matches the cell F4, then display it in light blue, light red and dark red text. So that is the conditional formatting already in place. If I were to make a change here, the corresponding number which matches that number shall automatically be displayed. The way we populated this whole area is utilizing a functionality in Excel called data table, which enable us to say, if I have the information for one particular number such as 3.375, what would be my outcome for the remaining cells or for remaining percentages. Same information, monthly payment, total interest and total cost, which are calculated up here in the mortgage payment calculator section. I want to do the same three numbers, but by changing the rate to these numbers, and we may give reference, and when we generate, we will have those three numbers tally up. What's the benefit? If you want to see the trend or how the total payment, monthly payment and total interest will change for different percentage of your mortgage, you may see that right here, rather than changing it one at a time and computing it again and again and again and again. The information on the right hand side is for amortization schedule, which is to say how is my property being, how much is my ownership changing in my property as the years of the loan goes more and more. Amortization is also another way of finding out how much principal and how much interest that you are paying every year after year. And for when you have your mortgage, the initial balance on the first day of your loan would be the amount of your loan, but the ending balance would be calculated using a formula. It is a bit extensive formula, but we are using present value, which is one extremely common financial measure used to calculate the present value of an asset. If you plan to do MBA or if you plan to go into accounting or finance, you ought to come across the formula present value as well as the other one called the future value. We are using these formulas to calculate the information for the ending balance paid on principal and interest paid. We always should calculate the first, and then using the fill handle we may fill out the remaining information, which will eventually tell us that when the 15 years are over and if you are making monthly payments, the ending balance of the loan would be 0, which means you will own the property. We also learn in this particular chapter that you can protect the workbook, which is to protect the whole file that you have. You can protect the sheet, but if you protect the sheet, you must first unprotect certain cells. If you want to unprotect these two cells, if you want to, let me rephrase, if you want to protect the whole sheet but leave these two cells behind for us to change, we need to unlock them. We need to unlock them. We need to go to format cells and say, hey, protection, I don't want them to be locked. When I protect something, everything that is locked will be disabled for me to change. Everything in Excel is by default locked. We must unlock it by unchecking for these two cells where we will change the price and the down payment, and everything else is locked. Let's take an example of perhaps this cell, monthly payment. This cell is locked, but since everything is locked but we haven't protected anything, nothing is kind of locked per se. It's like having a lock on the door, but unless you turn it on, it's open. So everything is locked, but as soon as we protect our sheet, all the cells which are by default locked will be uneditable. In our case, these two cells will be the only one that would be editable. If we protect, we are saying, let me select in the lock cell. At least let me click there. Let me select the unlock cell as well. And there is no password I want to enforce. With this, if I select, I'm not going to get any message, but as soon as I try to change something, I will be prompted to say, hey, your sheet is protected. You can't make changes to the protected or locked cells. But if I say, hey, first, just for the sake of discussion, if the property I'm buying is 450,000, I can very well make changes because this cell is not locked. As I make change, my whole Excel file changes because one change is completely going to change the whole display of information, given that our Excel is full of formulas driven by this price, which is also in hand with down payment, calculates the loan amount, which is used to calculate these things over here, and those three, monthly payment, total interest, and total cost, internally is tied to the information shown over on the right. So this was just a quick change I did to show you guys how our Excel file is interrelated with the formulas that we are using. You may hide this sheet by right clicking on it and choosing the hide to hide it so that it is there but it is not present. You may right click and choose the option unhide to unhide the hidden sheets, which is only one in our case, to bring it back up. I hope this video was useful, guys. If you have completed the work for this particular Excel 4 project, you may simply click on the submit assignment and upload your file and choose the submit assignment, as you all have done for prior chapter projects. This concludes my video. If you ever have a question, please never hesitate to reach me by my cell number or my email, which is shown right here. Thank you, and I hope this video was useful.